Hi, Shelly here. This week's project was inspired by something I saw on another artist's work on Pinterest. It was very cool, and he or she used some fibers and ribbon and found objects that it was a really cool butterfly. And so I went through my stash of yarn and pulled out a bunch of things I thought might look cool together, and I thought this might be a fun project. So here we go. I've just got a bunch of my coffee dyed papers. Now I'm going through and kind of coming up with my plan of attack. I like to kind of audition things before I get started putting them all down, just to see kind of what I want to do, get it in my head, even though it's not going to go back the way I have it here at all. But I need that start in my head. Once I've got my base, I pull out some tissue paper that I've stamped and stenciled on, and I'm just going to tear a few pieces of that and include those in my background as well. And today I'm working on a 16 by 20 inch fabric canvas, and I'll start putting everything down with my matte medium. While my canvas is drying, I pull out a bunch of the fibers that I've got, and I'm going to just go through and cut some pieces, see what might look good together, and kind of figure out how I think I want to do this. I think it's funny, as I'm sitting here editing this video, I'm thinking about right behind me to the left is all my ribbon hanging from rings. And I could have used that as well. I wish I had a thought of that. That would have added another dimension to this whole thing. So yeah, if you're trying something like this, think about other kind of fibers that you've got around. In the inspiration piece, it looked like the artist used strips of fabric, and that was very cool, but I don't have that much fabric laying around. I really love how my collage background turned out, and so I don't really want to cover it up too much. I want to be able to see all that goodness, but I do want to use some paint to kind of bring it all together. So I put out some khaki, some off-white, and some dark brown, and I'm just going to go through and with my fingers, as you can see, and just add a little bit on some of those edges and bring it all together. I went through my butterflies and found this guy, blew him up, too big for my mats, my scan and cut mats. So I cut him in half, and then I have taped him together here to use for a template. And then I can go around him with my permanent marker. So I start out with my fibers I think I am going to use and start gluing them down with my beacon glue. But as fast as I get started, I realize I need to put some paint down for my butterfly in this background. So I'm just taking some cobalt blue and adding a little bit of navy to it to darken it up just a little bit. Lifting the first glued fiber was not the best idea, but you know, you try things, sometimes it's a disaster, and this is one of those times. But this is all going to be covered, so it's not a big deal. But on the other side, I just used a liner brush and went around it instead of pulling it off and tearing up my canvas. I had to wait a bit for my canvas to dry, and then I go back in with my beacon glue. Another thing that I wish I would have done or would have discovered earlier, I love my beacon glue, as many of you know, but this was quite messy. You know, it's a fast grab glue, but it still took time to dry, and hot glue would have been which I switched to much later on, but I think that would have been a better way to go. I also kind of discover as I go, you know, you learn things, and I figure out that I wish I would have used my larger, flatter fibers on as a base, and then come in and do these fiddly kind of, because it's really hard to get under these once you put them down. So if they're on top, then the little fibers that are sticking out all over stay on top. I don't love how I handle the transition between the wings, but that's all right because I'll be able to come back in and put more on top and fix that coming up. Once I get my base down, I go into some of these fibers and separate them to make them a little finer. I take some of the whiter ones and kind of divide them into threes so that I have a little bit finer fibers that are coming off the end. The original artist left some fibers at the end, and I want to try and do that as well. But some of mine are so wide that it looks a little odd. So I'm trying to go through and see if I can make them work. Now I'll use my hot glue gun to go in and fix any sparse areas, and also that transition area from the top to bottom wings that I am not thrilled about. Next, I start thinking about how I can do the body of my butterfly. I wasn't sure if what I came up with was going to work, but in the end, I do like how it came out. So I just used some cardstock and used my scan and cut to cut out the body. Now I'm using some old batting that I'm just going to glue on top. And unfortunately, because it's polyester batting, the hot glue gun melts it. So I wind up getting my beacon glue out and putting a couple more on top to make sure that it's nice and thick on there. Then trim it up, and then I'm going to start wrapping it with the blue, I don't know what this stuff is called, but then I think, you know, it'd be great to start with some fabric. So I get this old piece of fabric that I had from some old curtains, and then I'm just going to, I'm just attaching it with the hot glue gun. You saw me cleaning it off because I have cats, and I have some cat hair on it. And then I'm going to start wrapping it with this blue yarn or whatever this stuff is called that's frilly all over. I just think it would be kind of a groovy look for the body. I think it turned out really good. If I had it to do it over again, I think I would go both directions, go all the way down in one direction and then go all the way down, wrapping it in the other direction. So all of my little fringes were going different directions. But I didn't do that, and I still think it turned out good the way it is. To glue the body on, I used a little bit of both of my glues just to make sure she's stuck on forever. Now my butterfly is not as grungy as the inspiration piece, but I still want to put something on it, something else, yes. So I pull out some little, I don't know what these things are called, these little jewels of some sort that I've had forever. And I'm going to go through and I find a few that I think would look good, and I'm going to glue those on. Using my ruler to make sure I get them close. Sorry about my head being in the way. These little fibers are a little bit long for me, so I'm going to go in and give them a haircut. As I was looking through my beads and such, I found these green beads that I have a lot of. And I thought, hey, you know, it'd be kind of fun to add some beads to my project. I wonder if I could sew them onto my canvas. I've never tried that before. And I thought this is the perfect opportunity. And so I pulled out, I have all different sizes of needles, so I pulled out a little bit longer one. I thought I was going to use regular thread, but then I decided for a little added strength, I had some of this green embroidery floss. So I decided to use it, and it works really well. And I thought I would definitely do some sewing on a canvas in the future if I use, you know, again, if it's got to be a fabric canvas, right? But I would definitely do something like this again. It worked really well. And I did break my needle a little way through. I had a needle that was probably about 2 inches to begin with, and then I moved to a long needle that I had, and that worked much better. I did have a little problem because I did not count my beads before I started. So I had plenty of these round beads, as you can see, but the third one of each cluster, I did not have enough. So as I'm putting on the last cluster at the top on the right, I realize, you know, I should have counted these beads. And I went back and counted, and I didn't have enough to do the other side. So I chose a different bead to finish my clusters, had to take all the ones on the right off and do them over again. So there's something else for you. Count your beads before you start putting them on. Since I couldn't tie a traditional sewing knot at the base of these very easily, I decided to just finish them off with a little bit of hot glue to make sure they're going to stay. Well, that's my project for this week. I'll give you a little close-up of all my texture going on and tell you, as I always do, this was a blast to do, and I hope you'll try something like this. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll join me in my next one. Bye for now.